Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. We're back with another game review. Today I'm reviewing Sword of the Sea. I will be discussing spoilers, so this is your spoiler warning. If you enjoy the content, make sure you do like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. With that being said, let's get to my review of Sword of the Sea.
I think I can speak for everyone when I say that there are certain games that just stick with you after the credits roll. Whether it's because of the characters in the story, like Red Dead Redemption, or it's music, like Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Games have a deep impact on us. A game that had deep impact on myself and a lot of others was Journey, released on the PlayStation 3. Traversing seamlessly throughout its world is an experience I greatly enjoyed. So when one of the creators of Journey, Matt Neva, left that game company to form his own studio, Giant Squid, I was intrigued to say the least. Sword of the Sea is a spiritual successor of sorts to Journey, blending its fluid movement but a much stronger emphasis on a free roam exploration. The story of Sword of the Sea is slightly more elaborate than Journey. Where Journey had very little story, Sword of the Sea dials it up one or two notches, but not enough to make a deep impact for me. Exploring the world and its vast history is intriguing to say the least, but I think I just wanted a little bit more from the story. Early on, you discover murals depicting the past civilization that occupied the areas we now visit. I think this should have been touched on a bit more and maybe even hinted to how our journey would go. The player does encounter one mural in particular where there are two beings, both wielding a sword, where one clearly looks like they could be the villain for the story, but it really doesn't go anywhere. The game has a lot of setup for lore, but doesn't ultimately lead to anything. There are giant warriors in the icy snow world that are all frozen in place, but we don't really get an elaboration on what happened to them or why these behemoths died out. I know I'm repeating myself, but I just really wanted more from this story. I wanted more depth in its lore, even if it was only in the mural form. I wanted to know how this happened, how the true enemy of the game came to be, and why the world became what it became, but instead, I'm sort of just left feeling hollow without any real resolution. Where the game lacks in its story, it does excel in its gameplay. The fluidity of surfing, rail grinding, and the speed at which you can maneuver is absolutely the reason to play this game. Seeing its bright environments and restoring each area to its original state is a sight to behold. As you surf and ride around, more of the world is opened up to its aquatic life. And the sword you wield is the reason that this happens. It restores the environments by unleashing the sea upon it, hence the game title, Sword of the Sea. Doing this welcomes sharks, whales, fish, and a number of other sea creatures back into the world, and this is stunning to see. You can even ride on some of the larger creatures, and it's awesome to see, but it ultimately is kind of just there for show. While I do love surfing and riding around the world of Sword of the Sea, there are two segments where you are actually riding sea creatures in order to progress the story, and it really takes me out of the game. It's not that it's less fluid than the normal gameplay, but it just takes me out of the gameplay experience entirely. It feels like the game doesn't know what it wants to be, so it is many things all packed into one game, and it really just does not work for me. I'd much rather have more to explore and discover in each environment, maybe even cosmetics for my character or my sword board. The puzzles in the game are incredibly disappointing as well, often being very predictable. Most of the puzzles are door is locked, go from point A to point B and open the door, and it really just sucks that they didn't do something else, literally anything else. There are two kinds of collectibles in this game, shards and shells. The shards are collected in order for you to redeem them with the in-game merchant for better tricks to perform on your board sword. It doesn't really change the gameplay at all, so it kind of just feels tacked on and pointless. The other collectible is the shells that serve no purpose other than collecting them. I wish they'd flesh this out more. Like I said, cosmetics would have been so fun and rewarding to obtain in this game. I've mentioned it a few times, but I think the art style and the visuals of this world are breathtaking. Each environment is stunning to see as each area starts out as a bleak, empty area before you restore it to its aquatic world. Similar to Journey, this is where the game shines. You start off in the sandy, desolate world, and you move into cityscapes, icy world, and a number of other places, and it's really breathtaking and beautiful to see. I just wish there was more to explore in those worlds. I wish there was more to obtain, and there was a sense of purpose in what we were doing, but I really don't get the sense that we know what we're supposed to be doing and we're just going from point A to point B in this story, and I really did not like that. I know not every single game is supposed to be like Red Dead Redemption or have a meaningful purpose, but I just felt like this was almost too pointless to me. After I would leave each area, I would think to myself, wow, that was beautiful, but what the hell was the point of all this? After the first area, you notice that you aren't alone in this game. There is a second character that absorbs some of the power in your sword that powers up their own sword. How does this happen? What is the point of this? We really don't know because the game doesn't explain anything about this or this other person. The developers want you to care about this second person, but it's very difficult to do so when I really don't have any emotional tie to this other person because the game is so short. Maybe it's a two-player element that they never really dove into. Regardless, it kind of just seems pointless to me. And it kind of makes me go back to thinking about the mural that I mentioned. There are two people. Why is one of them not the villain? Why is it not fleshed out a little bit more? And just left me wanting more. And I just cannot explain how hollow this experience felt to me. That does lead me into the real enemy of the game, because yes, there is an enemy in this game. Different than Journey, there is a big boss of the game. I think the boss was the cause of the world ending and the reason the world feels so empty. At least that's kind of my interpretation of the game, but I really don't know this for sure. The reason I don't know this is because the game does not explain it to you. It would have been cool to see a creature and feel like I was running away from it, but the fact that you have to actively fight this boss is so different from the previous gameplay, and I did not enjoy it at all. The entire boss fight in the last area just felt tacked on and just did not have any enjoyment for me. I've said it multiple times now, but I just wanted more lore, movement, and gameplay from this. I wanted more to explore in this experience and for the collectibles to be meaningful, but they really aren't. The experience of Sword of the Sea is enjoyable, but lacks any depth of impact on me when the credits are rolling after the 3 hours, and it left me just feeling disappointed.
All right, now it is time for my final verdict for Sword of the Sea. After all my critiques, I do give the game a 6 out of 10. I think I really just wanted a little bit more from this game, and maybe that's my fault for having those expectations of feeling the same way I felt when I played Journey, but I really didn't feel that way when I was playing this. And I'm not a cheapskate by any means, but I feel like when I'm paying $30, I expect to get my money's worth, and the 3-hour experience that I got for Sword of the Sea, I really didn't feel like I did. And I feel like there's certain times where I'm paying $60 or $70 or even $30 for other games, and I feel like I am getting my money's worth, and I just really didn't feel it with this game. Would I recommend this game? As of right now, I don't think I can. I think if you can get it on Game Pass or maybe on a sale, then I would say it's worth it, but as of right now at the $30 value, I don't think it's worth it. What did you think of Sword of the Sea? Are you going to check it out? Let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch you guys next time.